Hello and welcome to the I Have No Clue the podcast. This is the third take, so I'm hoping this one will stick. And today we're going to talk about finding out your values and how they guide you to achieve your goals. And let's dive in with a question. Have you ever bought a phone? Like the smartphone that you hold in your hand, the phone that you might listen this podcast on. And what is it that you looked for in your phone? Did it need to be fast? Did it need to be sustainable? Did it need to be last long? Or was there a specific brand you thought it was important? And then why was that important? Why is it important to buy an Apple? Or why is it important to buy a Samsung? Or why is it important to buy a phone of like a not so interesting brand? So that's the thing. Have you ever bought a phone and then what were the things that you looked for? And why are those things important? Like I have a phone right now that is really good with the camera because I make a lot of stories for Instagram and I film myself a lot. It's really nice to have high quality video on this thing. So I bought a kind of high-end phone, whereas the previous one that was before I started my business, I bought a Fairphone. And a Fairphone is a Dutch brand with a very it's a modular phone, so you can interchange the things that is built from. Um, so when one part breaks down, you can just order that part and you can fix your own phone. It's really cool, actually. I love the concept. But the camera was not good enough, so unfortunately, my next phone, other things were important. At the start of this year, I am sitting down, writing down my goals for this year. And I think this year I want to do 30 days of yoga in January. Has been my goal for a while to do that, but now this time I really am going to do it. And why? Why is this goal so important to me? Why is it that I want to do 30 days of yoga with Adrian, which is what I usually do in January and then quit after 7 days? Um Why is it that I want to do this? It was the first time I asked myself this question while I tried this goal for I think at least 5 years in a row. And was the first time I asked myself, why is it that I want this? I want to feel healthy. I want to feel energized in the morning. It helps me to grow as a person because of the mindfulness. And if I can do yoga in the morning, then I can also make my Instagram story and well, I can do something for my business. So it is if I can do that at the start of my day, then I can grow as a person throughout the rest of the day, which is really cool. I love personal growth. You might have noticed. And so it's a guide to my other goals. And it's really important to feel healthy and energized. And energized is also a thing that's important to me in my work. I want to feel energized. I want to feel creative. I want to be creative. I like sustainability a lot, and those are things that are really important. And 3 years ago, 2 years ago, I'm sitting in this meeting with my manager and a couple of other people, and we're sitting there, and she asks me point blank, with everyone there, "Why are you here?" And I thought it was my right to be there. That was my job to do that meeting and be there and be the backup of one of my colleagues, which meant that I needed to be up to date. And I felt really drained after that meeting. It had something to do with justice, and I want to feel acknowledged. And even though I like honesty a lot, I think that the justice, the fact that I was in my right to be there and she didn't see that, ooh, that didn't work really well for me. So those are values. Values can be met or they cannot be met. And then if you don't meet your values, then it might become a place where you drain energy, as I did in my job, because that was not the only time something like that happened. And values are invisible. You cannot see them, but they are important to you as a person. And you develop your values from the moment you are born, right up until your 21st birthday. And after that, they can change. But the basis is done. The fundament of your values has been laid when you are like between 0 and 21 years old. And they are your inner compass. And like I said, if you meet them, they will give you energy. Not the values themselves, but the actions and the things you do that meet your values. Like creativity is important to me, and I'm recording this podcast, which is some form of creativity. So I get energy from this because I like it, and has to do with the fact that creativity is important to me. And if you don't meet your values, then you come into a place where I was at my job 2 years ago, and you leak energy. It's going out the window. Whatever you do, you just feel empty when I left my job at least. And that can happen if you don't meet your values. So I think we established that values can be very important. And they are your inner compass as well. So it's really nice to know how to find out your values because everyone has them, you too. The first question to ask yourself is, well, no, not really the first question. Take a context in mind. Like, for instance, your job or a goal you want to achieve. Like for me, it was doing 30 days of yoga. And when you have that in mind, the first question you want to ask yourself is, for a goal, why do I want this? Or if you do it for your job or where you work or your hobby, is it why do I want to do this? Why is this important to me? The thing is, every context has slightly different values, and most of them will be the same, but every context it can like be a little bit different. And when you ask yourself this question, why do I want to do this? Chances are, especially if you write it down, and I understand that you're probably in the car listening to this, and it's not really the moment to write these things down, but as soon as you get home or get anywhere, write it in your phone like, why do I want this? Why is it important to me? Because then, if you write it down, you can spot the words that are values. You can spot the vague words as sustainability, energy, freedom, acknowledgement, justice, honesty, or whatever comes to your mind. There are a lot of values you can have. And it are the words that cannot be quantified. And when you look at all the values, the words that you've underlined, then it's which is more important? Which one is the most important? Pick the five most important values. And if you have those five most important values, it's the question, what can you do with them? Every time you want to do something, set a goal or find another job or I don't know, move to a new place or go traveling, anything you want to do is check if it meets the values that are important to you in this specific context. It's like your inner compass. And if you know which goals are important to you, then you know how you can use them. Then you can see, okay, if I, for instance, at my job where my manager told me like, "Why are you here?" and I felt like this really, really does not feel right. It doesn't feel like I'm acknowledged. S- Justice is very important, and it really felt like that was not the case. Then you know it's not gonna fit. And in this particular example with my boss, I quit my job after a while and a lot of things happened, but I knew I have to go away here because this is not the place for me. It's not okay with my values, with the things that are important to me. They are not the same as what's important within this company. And the other thing, what is the same as my values, is doing yoga every bloody morning in January for 30 days because of the health, the energized thing in the morning, and I feel fit. And it's really, I love it. I love the fact that I feel energized and I feel healthy and I feel fit. Those are things that are important to me. They're so important to me, and yoga matched that well with it that I continue doing it every morning. So I still do yoga every morning. I set a new goal, 365 days of yoga. And I'm doing yoga every morning. And I love it. Those are values. That is when values meet you as a person and the actions you do. Can be really, really nice to know what kind of values are important to you. And if you want to explore what it is that you want to do in your life or just the next year or the next month, check out my meditation bundle at eagermindsacademy.com. I will put the link in the show notes. And I love to hear from you. I love to hear your takeaway on this podcast. Tag me, send me a DM on Instagram at doreen.cornelia. And I would love to talk to you next time. See you. No, I would love to talk to you next time. That's what I want to say. And I really, really, really love to hear from you. So let me know what you thought of it.